No mirror.
No, if you have the flash on and you're doing the mirror selfie,
No
go
snap.
to Tinder because that's where you belong. Like, genuinely, that is where you belong and that's where you deserve to be. Hello, welcome back to Sextras,
Where we talk about sex and all the extras.
I'm Honey,
And I'm Maria.
and today we're going to talk about dating apps.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to cover like what each app is like, what they're good for, a bit about our own experiences. We're going to hear about your guys' experiences, and yeah.
What's a good profile, what to message someone, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of market research for this podcast over the summer. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. Should we get into the segment? We asked if anyone has any bad dating app stories. We asked, like, what are your worst dating app stories? Any funny ones? And here's what people had to say. So,
Someone said, it's not very crazy, but once a girl that my friend met on Hinge and had a date with refused to meet him after she asked him for his sign and learned that he was an Aquarius. Fuck's sake. Why am I being targeted?
bad vibes, honey. Honey's an Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm an Aquarius.
By the way, guys.
In case you didn't hear that in my fun facts last season. Yeah, I mean, well, firstly, would you not date someone because of their star sign? And secondly, what are your thoughts on people who are super into star signs?
There's no way, like, I wouldn't date someone because of their star sign. I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
And people that are really into it, like, I think I would date someone that was really into it, whatever. Like, it depends how much. If it's, like, they're super into it, probably not. But, like, if they're just into it, that's fine. I don't really care very much. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to believe the same thing.
I don't get when guys are like, oh no, she believes in star signs. Like, that's their worst case scenario. I mean, it's like, it's a harmless thing to believe in. It's not hurting anyone. There's way worse things you can believe in.
No, but, like, you know those people that literally everything is like, oh yeah, it's because you've got, like,
Yeah.
moon in Cancer
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, shut up.
If they make
Shut
everything
up.
about that, it's like, okay, but I just don't care. But it's still not really hurting someone. I get if you don't want to date someone because, like, they want to own a gun or whatever, but, like, because that is hurting someone. That literally is. But I don't know. Of all the things, I feel like astrology is the least offensive.
Would you not date someone because of their star sign?
No, I don't even know what the star signs mean.
Yeah, no, same, exactly. Yeah, no. But that's quite funny, though.
Yeah, no, it's
Some
a good
people
story.
are so into it. I've heard shit about, like, I think I watched this YouTube video or something. I watched something that was, like, someone, it must have been a TikTok, that it was, like, someone talking about how to, like, calculate your child's, like, how to make your child be born with the correct birth chart and all of this shit. And I'm like,
you do realise
what?
people have children, like, months before they're meant to.
Yeah.
What if that happens?
No, she was
to
like,
you?
first, when I first got my due date, I calculated my baby's, like, chart, and I saw the horribleness that they were gonna endure in their life. I'm like, sorry, what?
You're just, like,
You can look
imposing
into
all
the
these
future
things
now.
onto your
What?
child. Like, as soon as they're born, you're like, you're having a shit life. Makes you got fucking Venus and Leo or something. I don't even know.
Yeah,
know?
May is so crazy, but
my God. Ugh, anyway.
okay. Next one. Someone said, we had nothing to talk about. Best she could come up with was, what's your favourite fruit?
Don't underestimate fruit conversations.
So much shade.
Yeah, come on. We've had some brilliant conversations about fruit.
Yeah, mate, this is actually top tip if you run out of shit to talk about on a date. Just be like, oh, what kind of fruit do you think you'd be? Or, like, what kind of kitchen utensil? Or what flower? What animal? Mate, I feel like it's a really good get
such
to know
a fun conversation, first of all. And it's like
you get to know their vibe, you know?
Yeah, and you get to know how
via
they
fruit.
perceive themselves. Like, if someone says that they're a cherry, like, no.
Yeah, and, like, how you come off. What if they're like, oh, I think you're a pineapple, and it's like, What does that mean?
Yeah, why am I a pineapple? Fuck off.
And also this shade of like, oh, best she could come up with. I'm sorry, like a conversation is a two-way street.
Yeah. Also, sometimes it is just really awkward on a date because you don't even know them. It's just a random person that you've met off the internet, I'm assuming, or like you've maybe met for a few minutes or whatever before. So you have to allow the situation to progress naturally. And just because it's awkward at first doesn't mean it's like just a shit date. It's just maybe you're just like warming up to each other.
Yeah, I mean, think about what you're like when you first meet someone. It's not like you're giving like 100% of your personality. You're giving like a very surfaced presentation of your personality or whatever, because it's the first time you're meeting someone. Like, you can't get more than really like 20% unless it's someone that like really puts everything out there. But I feel like most people, you get a very small percentage of like what they're really like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get it can be awkward. Like, honestly, it's one of my biggest fears. Like, I hate getting stuck one-on-one with people that I don't know very well, and like a date is just that essentially. So I do get that it is quite horrible. But like, keep things that you can like bring up, or as we said, like just random like, oh, would you rather this, or like, you know what I mean? Just like play some kind of like word game like that, and you'll get to know them a bit more.
Yeah, also maybe just have a few things like every time you go on a date, know in your mind a few things that you want to bring up on the date or that you want to ask. Things that maybe for you are like super important. It doesn't have to be a really serious conversation, but you can just bring it up lightly, and then it will just like help you understand each other a bit more. Like, I really like I have this, I'm gonna get into this obviously, I have this in my Hinge profile that I love talking about attachment styles. So I'll always like ask people, do you know your attachment style? Because I feel like it's quite telling if they don't, first of all, which is like fine. Not a lot of people, like not everyone does. Or talk about like love languages or personality types or stuff like that it's like, oh, you can find out a little bit more about them. For some people that's fucking astrology signs, but whatever, like something that is meaningful to you, that tells you something about the other person that you can have a conversation about, I feel like is a good way to do it. Yeah, even what's your favorite fruit? Maybe that person really likes fruit, like don't be shitting on that conversation.
But also, sorry, not to completely shit on this submission, I feel kind of bad. We've been kind of mean. Like, fair enough. Like, if that's just not an interesting kind of conversation to you, and if you found it hard to, like, come up with stuff to say, like, maybe you just... you didn't get on with that person, and that's fine. Like, exactly. Like, you will go on dates that are like that.
Yeah,
like, you can't expect them all to be perfect, because otherwise everyone would just, like, love dating, which isn't the case.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think you have to... I think, again, we'll get into this later, but I think a really good way to approach dating is just like, the stakes are so low. You're not like, no one's asking you to get married to this person just because you're going on one date with them. It's literally such a low stakes situation that you just treat it like it's a fucking game. Honestly, it is just a game, and it's fun. It can be fun, and it can just be stupid. And if you leave the night being like, oh, whatever, that was a waste of time, just go home and like do something that will make up for it, like like do something that will make the night a better night for you or whatever. Anyway, the next one time I was on Whisper, which isn't a dating app, but this old dude, like 35, was hitting on me, and I was like 14 or 15 at the time, and we'd been talking, and he sent me pictures of his tattoos. He mentioned he had a son. Then the next day I went to a football match with my dad, and the guy was sitting directly behind me with his son. It was so awkward. We pretended not to acknowledge each other, but I knew it was him because of his tattoos and stuff. Yeah, that's awkward.
With your dad, and you're like a kid, and he has a kid.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, next one.
Okay. I saw a musician from Hinge. Not only was he painfully cringe, but he also gave me chlamydia plus PID, which is pelvic inflammatory disease. Not surprised. Musicians are bad vibes.
Maria hates
red
musicians
flags. Red
for no
flags.
reason. Why?
Even though you're not a musician, but you did study music.
Do you have a music degree?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you kind of are, but
I
just think they're red
think
flags.
Of myself as a
Male
musician
musicians.
in any
I actually
way.
have nothing against female musicians.
Yeah, that's true. Male musicians are just always like
bad vibes.
There's always something. Maria said I can't date musicians anymore.
No, like Your mom dictating your life.
But you did say that though. I mean, obviously I'm not gonna listen to you, but you did say
They
that.
are red flags. I'm sorry, we're trying to stay away from the red flags, and like
I
as
know
soon
we
as I hear
are.
musicians, it's like,
But
sorry, no.
Everyone I meet thinks they're a musician.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's so annoying. And also, as soon as even if music has never been mentioned, we've been talking, they're like a fucking engineer or something. As soon as I mention I'm a musician, guess what? They are all of a sudden as well. And they want to ask me loads of questions about my degree. And I'm like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I hated my... Like, I'm going to walk around with a sign that says, I studied music, but I hate music. Okay, next one. I got a piece of chip stuck on my eyelid before noticing for an hour. I hate when people don't tell you.
Nah, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna, because I hate seeing people feel embarrassed. Like, I know that even in the long run, like, it's probably less embarrassing if I tell them than if they just have it, like, the whole time. But I'd rather they went to the bathroom and noticed it and were embarrassed alone than in front of me because of what I said. Nah.
That really says a lot about you.
I hate it. Because I also hate it when people point it out to me. I'd kind of rather they didn't. I genuinely think I'd rather they didn't, because then it's vice versa. Like, I hate seeing someone's watching me be embarrassed rather than me just being embarrassed alone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I can fix it. Like, oh no. I hate it.
I feel like it's fine. They're not gonna not want to date you just because that you had like something on your face, you know? And if they did, fuck that. But yeah, moving on.
Last one. Once I found a guy on Tinder. We exchanged maybe 7 messages. He came over and left exactly 45 minutes later and never spoke to him again. A true one-night stand. Don't think the sex was anything amazing, but I do look back on it fondly.
Love that. Love this business exchange.
The efficiency.
It's so efficient. No fucking around. Just fucking.
That's what we want.
That's what we want.
I really want to have one of these experiences. Like, just didn't really talk. We just met up, shagged, and then they left.
I guess
I would do it at my, like, just a little safety caveat.
Yeah.
I would do it at my house because then it's like I don't have to go to a stranger's house by myself. And like maybe if like someone else was in the house, probably. Like obviously you don't want someone else in the house while you're like just having a shag, but
it's fine.
I think it would make me feel safer.
Yeah. Like the couple of times when I went on dates with people in first year of uni, it was like kind of nice to know that there were other people just like down the corridor.
Yeah, that uni safety.
And
I mean, unsafe in a lot of different ways, but
yeah, that's one way it makes up for it. Okay, well, thanks for sending your stories.
Do you have any stories to add to the segment? Your worst dating app story?
Dating app stories. I did get rejected for the first time the other day because I have herpes.
Damn.
And it was so
But
deep.
it's quite good that... Not good, but like, no, it's taken quite long, you know, for it to happen.
Yeah, it's taken a while. No, it wasn't deep because of that. It was just deep because, like, of the whole build-up. Basically, I matched with this guy on Hinge ages and ages ago, and then we were gonna go on a date. We planned it on Hinge. We hadn't like exchanged numbers or anything, and then it got to the day and he just like wasn't responding, and I was like, okay, whatever, I guess we're just not going. Like, I wasn't annoyed. I was just like, I just texted him saying, I'm guessing this isn't happening, but like if you still want to go another time, just let me know. And then he responded ages after that being like, oh my god, I'm such a dick, sorry, I had to go away for work and I just completely forgot to let you know. And I was like, fine, whatever, give him the benefit of the doubt, gave him my number, I was like, text me if you actually want to do something. And then he texted me and he was like, I'm sorry, I swear I'm better at responding on here than on Hinge, which I was like, fine, so am I. And then, yeah, we went on a date a couple of weeks ago. We went to a pub. And then we were going on a second date, and again, he wasn't responding the whole day.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
And I was just like, whatever, I had just accepted that it wasn't going to happen.
But he, like, read the message.
Yeah, he read the message and didn't respond. And I was just like, kind of like, because it had already happened, I was like, oh, okay, he's not going to respond. But then I started feeling bad. I was like, oh, what if it genuinely was a mistake? Like, should I send another message? But I also didn't want to chase him because it's just annoying to have to chase people. And then... yeah, and then he responded like an hour before and he was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I really, really forgot to respond to this or whatever. I was like, yeah, fine. And then we were trying to rearrange to go another day because I was like, oh, it's kind of last minute. But then we were both busy, so I was like, fine, I'll just go tonight. Anyway, we went to the pub. I just knew, like, as soon as I got there, I knew that he was thinking it was gonna be like we're gonna have sex kind of thing. Like,
really?
You know when guys just have that vibe? Like, he was like all excited, and I was like, oh, I know.
Oh really? I don't remember this vibe. I don't know this vibe.
They just get this like look in their eyes, and I'm just like, I know. And I was like, down, whatever. He's attractive, and we had a good time the last time. But I was just like, I don't know if I'm really in the mood tonight. Anyway, I kind of was like a bit pissed off about the whole like build up or whatever. And then I was super tired because I'd been out like every night that week already. Obviously, like, I know he lives nearby, so we're just gonna end up going to his house. And then he was like, do you want to come to mine? And I was like, oh, I do, but I also don't. Anyway, blah blah blah. We go. He was like, I'll drive you home after, whatever. I was like, yeah, fine. Anyway, we get back to his. We're like in bed, we're making out, and I was like, do you have condoms? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I have herpes. And then he was like, oh, okay. I was like, is that okay with you? And he was like, yeah, I guess so. Like, what? Yeah, he was just like, what? I was like, oh, well, I always use condoms and I'm taking medication for it, so it's like basically 0% risk of transmission. He was like, fine. Anyway, then we continue making out, and then he was like, oh, actually, you know what? It's actually not fine.
That's kind of like good of him that he said something, you know, because like I so wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, if I had already said yeah, and then like I would feel like it was too late. I'm like, well, it's too late now. I have to do it. But like, it's quite good that he was like, oh, actually.
I think he felt kind of bad because I think he thought that I was like really upset, but I was actually like really happy because I kind of wanted to be like, actually, I'm really not into this, because like the way we were kissing, like he was doing some weird thing. Like before when we kissed it was fine, but he was just doing something weird anyway. And also I just wanted to go home, so then I just like got dressed and then we just went home. He drove me home, and it was like it was literally so fine. I was so proud of myself because I was like, I just do not care at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And also, I've just kind of decided that, like, if they don't already know stuff about herpes, then it's like, why am I going to sleep with you? Like, you clearly just... He was like, how did you get it? I was like, you just clearly don't know that, like, everyone has herpes. Like, you probably have herpes, mate.
Yeah, like, I feel like you're... Not to sound, like, really weird or anything, but, like, I feel like you're in a really good place, you know, with your herpes or whatever.
I think I am as well.
And like dating wise. And just like, no, even like regardless of the herpes thing, I feel like you're quite like figuring out like actually what you want and like what you will tolerate, and like what kind of person you actually exactly like. If you're not really educated about STDs and stuff like that, like it's fine, like, but you have to be like actively willing to learn or like show that kind of vibe, you know, like. And if it's not that, then it's like
yeah, we're gonna do a whole episode about this, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, anyway, should we get into the main episode? We're going to talk a little bit about like which ones we've used and like which ones are good for what things. So obviously, also we should preface this by saying Maria is clearly in a relationship and I'm not. So I am currently using dating apps and Maria is in her own way, but I'll let you tell that story. So go ahead. I give you the floor.
So like, which dating apps have I used? I think the only one I've used whilst being single was Tinder, and that was like in like the end of school and in first year and stuff.
Like 2018.
Yeah.
2019.
And then I got banned from it while I was in first year, and I actually still don't know why, because I genuinely wasn't like doing weird stuff like or anything sketchy. I wasn't. I got and you can't get unbanned. Like, I've tried. You have to have a new phone number. Like, because it's attached. Tinder's attached to your phone number, so you can't detach it. So I'd have to get a whole new number to get a new Tinder.
Let's start a petition.
It's so sad.
Unbanned from Tinder.
But yeah, and then since I've been in a relationship, so like ages ago now, me and my boyfriend were like kind of have been talking about how we kind of want to have a threesome. So this was like literally like summer 2019. No, 2020, summer 2020, sorry. We were like, oh, should we like make a Tinder? So we made a Tinder with his phone number, like a kind of like a couples thing, like looking for a third. And then we got banned because you can't do that on Tinder. So now both me and my boyfriend are banned eternally from Tinder.
So sad.
So there you go. Um, but then we were like, okay, should we try like other apps? So we tried. We downloaded Bumble, and oh my god. Okay, so actually, I have a story from when we downloaded. Okay, so we download it, right, and then like I expected to pop up like to make a profile or whatever, but it pops up with a profile already existing. So I was like, oh, like interesting. I must have made one like before me and my boyfriend got together. Like I couldn't remember that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I kind of like we keep going into the profile, and I noticed that like the profile picture is like definitely a picture that was taken when my boyfriend and I were together, like during that period. So I was like, hold on, like if I had this when I was single, then how would I have used a picture that didn't exist then? So I was like, what the fuck? Like, did I just black out and like cheat on Bumble with my, like on my boyfriend on Bumble? And I just don't remember. But then, so then I was like, wait, so then I'd say that out loud. I was like, wait, I'm really confused. Like, why is the profile picture from a time that, like, I know for a fact we were together? And he was, like, even more confused and, like, yeah, what the fuck, Maria? Like, you tell me.
Well, yeah.
And I'm just, like, fucking panicking, like, genuinely panicking because I don't remember. And I'm like, wait, I just don't remember. Like, I'm so confused. I don't remember. And it just sounds, like, even more sketchy. And then I just had this, like, sort of memory that, like, at a certain point, Hinge and Bumble were, like, really popping off when I was in second year. And I just got really curious about it. But obviously, I couldn't see it because I was, like, not single. So then I was like, oh, okay. And then I heard that Bumble, you could make, like, a Bumble friend. So, like, that's the kind of profile that I had, like, the finding friends one. But, I mean, I feel like still sketch. And so I'd made a profile to like see how the app worked and everything, which sounds so sketchy, but that is the kind of thing I would do.
That is really the kind of thing that you would do, but it also does sound so dodgy.
Yeah, it sounds so bad. Like, I'm sorry, it did not sound like truth at all. And the thing is, and the thing is, like, it is the kind of thing I would do, but I also would say as I'm doing it, like I would have told him as I was doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I just didn't, because I think I knew it sounded sketch, like, you know what I mean? And like, also I have like a history of cheating, so it's like, it just made it so much worse. Like, honestly, I don't know how I got out of that one, but like,
I don't know how you did either.
He like looked at the conversations and like the matches I had, and he saw that it was like really like not cheating vibes, and also it was only girls and stuff.
Mate, imagine it was the other way around.
Mate,
you would have lost.
I'd never recover from this. I'd never recover. Like, I'd never be okay again.
You'd have trust issues for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but that was kind of it for Bumble. I think it kind of
just ruined the vibe.
Yeah, it kind of ruined the vibe.
You
so
didn't find someone off there.
Yeah, no. So we kind of moved on from Bumble, and we made a Hinge, and like that was pretty funny because on Hinge, how it works, like, sorry, I've been talking for ages, so maybe like you can explain how it works. But like you have to set like they give you prompts, things like
like I'm curious about something that would surprise you about me is
and like tell me more about like do you know anything about, I don't know, like things like that, like giving you ideas of stuff to say that will like give people more chances to basically like slide in, because then they have something to say about something you've said, essentially. So then it was quite funny because we could set all of them to like more jokingly saying that we wanted to have a threesome, rather than on Tinder it was like very much like looking for a threesome, whereas like on Hinge it was like more like funny, like
creative ways to say you want to have a threesome. Like, what?
Exactly. I think it was like the worst idea I've ever had is like going on Hinge to find a threesome, like that kind of thing.
So encouraging for the person.
Yeah, I know. One of the other ones was like it was something like the ideal scenario would be, or something. It was like finding someone that's hot but not hotter than me to have a threesome.
Okay, that's good.
Like things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, then like people like slid in with like jokey vibes, so it didn't feel like as serious, because like otherwise it just felt like we were arranging this like weird sex arrangement. I don't know. But yeah, we haven't used it in ages, to be honest. We kind of like had a bit of a pause on the threesome search, to be honest. We do it like when we're together, like on holiday and stuff. We'll like
Well, yeah, I guess
scroll
for
for
long
ages.
distance, it's like not really
Yeah.
the ideal time to be looking for someone to have a threesome.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sorry, are you free on the 17th of December?
Yeah, no, exactly. But I did say that having a threesome was one of my sex goals for the year, and it's nearly the end of the year, and I've completed all my other ones except that one. So
okay.
maybe it will still happen.
You've got a month and 10 days.
Yeah. So if you guys have any tips for finding threesomes on dating apps, please do send them my way, actually.
I'd like to know as well.
But can you tell us, like, what other ones have you... Oh, wait, actually, sorry. Just, we've also used this other one called Field, and I'm pretty sure it's, like, for more, like, kink community based. Like, it's not quite like FetLife, which I'm pretty sure it's, like, the main kink community dating app, but you can find more, like, BDSM kind of shit, like, rather than just vanilla, and, like, a lot of threes. Like, you can make, like, a couple's profile.
Oh, cool.
And then look for and like put what you're looking for, essentially, like threesomes or like BDSM, like what kind of thing you're looking for,
sexual preferences, and that's like how
and then there's like single people that can like specifically be looking for threesomes, so they'll show them like just couples, and like you can put like
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's quite good, like in terms of, I feel like it is quite specific to what you want to find, but that means that there's just not that many people, so like the hotness average is not there. Sadly.
Sad times.
But I mean, I would recommend it if you're like,
if
mainstream
kind of, like,
dating apps. Yeah, exactly, for sure. But yeah, what about you? Like, which ones have you used? What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I've been like pretty active on Tinder since I was like 18, and I feel like I've had quite good luck with it. Like, I've found people that I have then gone on to sleep with like very regularly on Tinder. So I was kind of
I feel like you're quite a Tinder success story. Not in like a relationship way, but like in a hookup or casual thing.
Yeah, that's true. I've slept with a few people from Tinder, and it's always gone pretty well, apart from like one time.
We got all kinds of chlamydia.
Yeah, I have told this story in season 1, so you'll have to go listen to the whole season 1 to find it, because I don't remember what episode it's in. But yeah, so I used Tinder for a while until I got into a relationship, and then I guess Hinge and other apps weren't really that big until around that time, and then broke up with my boyfriend nearly a year ago now.
Damn.
Yeah, and was like, okay, I guess I'll get the apps again. So I got Tinder, and that was the one I had for a while, and I was in Bristol, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. Like, what has happened to Tinder? It's really gone downhill. Everyone was just like weird and ugly, and I was just not into it. And then I got a Hinge when I got back to London, and I was like, oh wow, everyone in here is so beautiful. And I just really preferred it to Tinder, because basically, if you don't know what Tinder's like, it's literally just you put a picture of yourself. You can put a bio, but you don't have to. So it's literally just even just one picture
like
of yourself,
the bare minimum
and your
you
name.
have to put is your name.
Yeah, and people don't even put their name sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really hard to talk to anyone. Everyone just messages you, hey, and it's like, I'm not going to respond to you.
Yeah.
And then Hinge, as Maria said, it has prompts, and you have to put 6 pictures of yourself, so it's a lot more specific. It's really easy to vet people. You have to put your age, your height, if you drink. You can put if you drink, smoke, do drugs, which I love. You can put where you live, what your job is, if you want kids, all of these things. And also they have a new feature where you can put voice notes, which is so funny. So it's just a lot easier to like get a vibe of what people are like. So I really like Hinge, and I've used this STIs dating app called Positive Singles, and I would not recommend. I got it when I first found out I got herpes, and I was like, oh well, now I can only sleep with other people that have herpes, even though that's not the case. And also I just kind of wanted to like check out if there were any like hot people that have herpes to make myself feel better, and there were literally not any. So I was like, okay, guess I'm ugly now. And then and then I just felt shit about it. Obviously now I've gotten over that, it's fine. But yeah, I've been going on quite a few Hinge dates. They've been very successful.
Love it.
I've been enjoying them, and I went on one Tinder date and I was literally like, I think I'm so prejudiced against Tinder now that I was like, I'm gonna get fucking killed. This person's a psychopath. Literally just because they're from Tinder, not for any like actual reason. But and I didn't get killed. Clearly I didn't get spiked. It was fine. But it also just like wasn't even that good. Like the people that I've gone on dates with from Hinge are just like way better and like way easier to get on with because you already know a bit of information about them before, so it's quite good like that. Also, what else have I used? I've used Pure. I mean, I haven't really used Pure, I've just downloaded it, and it's basically like an up and coming dating app. We were gonna do a collab with them, but then I stood up on the Zoom call and I forgot I had no pants on, so I exposed my whole ass to the guy we were on a call to.
Oh, do you think that's why they just like ghosted us?
I don't know, maybe. Like genuinely, I feel like that would be a valid reason. I really didn't mean to. But yeah, anyway, so it's just like, it's a hookup app, so you don't put a picture or anything, it's literally just a box. And you type a prompt on there like, oh, does anyone want to go fuck outside today? And then everyone who's on the app can see that prompt. But you can only see it if you've also put a prompt. So I haven't seen anyone else's prompts because I never put one. And I just never really knew what to say because it was like when I was early on getting back into my dating app game. So I was a bit just like, oh, I don't know, this is a bit much for now.
That's a bit scary though. You don't know anything about the person that you potentially
Well, I
meeting
think
up
once you put the prompt, you can see more. But I don't know because I never got
okay.
to that stage. But yeah, anyway, so I've also kind of used that one. I don't know, I quite like dating apps because I'm really bad at like flirting with people just right off the bat. Like I quite like to have a bit of information with them before, and I never really like meet people in real life that I actually like, so it's just kind of fun to go out and meet people anyway, and you can go and do stuff that you want to do, but it's just like on a date.
Yeah.
Like with someone, and it's a good way to get to know people, I think. So
What do you not like about them?
people are really bad at making dating app profiles. Also, I decided that I was going to put in my Tinder bio that I have herpes.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know why I did that, like because I just stopped getting matches, which is really sad.
Yeah.
And also I was like, people don't need to know this information about me. But yeah, anyway, so clearly I'm not that good at making dating profiles. But
no, but like it was just experimental.
yeah,
See
exactly.
what's going on.
I've been experimenting with my dating profile, and I feel like I'm getting to a good place with it. But people really are just shockingly bad. Firstly, at like starting conversations, people put in their bios that they're gonna skip foreplay. I'm like, why do you think this is a good idea?
Yeah, people put dumb, like when people put dumb, like weird, slightly sexist jokes.
Oh my god,
it's just a little bit like,
there are so many men on
what?
Tinder who just, their whole profile is complaining about Tinder. And I'm like, why are you on here then? And they're like, everyone here is a fake bitch. Everyone's just looking for sex, nothing serious. And it's like, yeah, because Tinder is literally a hookup app. Like, that's what it's known for. Even though, like, people do find people that they end up dating, it's primarily, everyone knows that Tinder's a hookup app. So it's like, I don't know. But that's that I kind of hate Tinder now, and I feel like that's just the general consensus. Everyone seems to hate Tinder, but I do really like Hinge because it does make things a bit more serious, but at least you can just like, you feel safer in a way. But what else do I not like about them? I feel like in some ways, because you know that there's so many people out there, it kind of takes away from like the quality of the interaction sometimes, if either of you lets it affect the dynamic. It can be kind of just like, oh, this person is disposable. Like if it doesn't go well, which is good and bad, like if it doesn't go well, I can just find other people, which is like, yeah, it's good because you're not like putting all this pressure on the interaction, but it also means like you're not allowing yourself to fully enjoy it as much as you maybe could. But I think that's just like a mindset thing. It's not necessarily a dating app thing. But I think overall dating apps are great because it's like, otherwise I just don't know how you meet people genuinely.
Yeah. No, and it like gives you access to like a lot of people that you just wouldn't encounter, and like, well, yeah, how else really would you just like randomly start conversations?
I
with
really
strangers?
just don't know.
And I don't know, I also feel like it makes you, like, for instance, Hinge, like how you have to put photos, you have to like think about your prompts, like you have to put a little bit more intention into like what like other people will perceive you as, and like that's also kind of bad because like it can fuck with your head, obviously, and like how you said the whole thing of like how a lot of people interact as though you're disposable. So I think like that can mess with you like in your head, and also seeing all these people, it can be overwhelming. Like there are parts that I think can be a little bit like overstimulating or even like a little bit toxic.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like it does open up a lot more like real choice, because it's like you can understand and like see what's out there in a way. But then also like, I guess this is also to do with something else, like what do you think about how long should you stay on the app versus like meeting someone, because it's like how much, even though you are getting a lot more in an app, for instance like Hinge, in which like you have to give a little bit more information, how much do you want to know about someone before you like want to meet them, or like do you want to talk more and then meet them? Like what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like people get so stuck in the app versus like moving it into real life, because like it is a dating app and you have that as like the facilitator to the interaction. That's what it's good for. It's a dating app, like it's there for you to go on dates. So I think it's really difficult, I guess, for girls as well, from a safety perspective of like, when is it too soon to go on a date? How long do you want to talk for? And people have their preferences as well. Like I don't want to talk to someone for ages because I really just don't care enough about you if I haven't met you to be talking to you. I'd rather just go on a date, versus other people might want to like find out a bit more before they waste their time by going on a date. So it's like different for everyone. But another thing as well, which I was talking to someone who I was on a date with about the other day, is either people think you're disposable, but then there's also the extreme of people thinking that like, they're so special when you match with them. Like they think that they're the only person that you're talking to, and then they get all like offended when you don't reply, or like you're not making effort to make a plan. And it's like, but you don't understand. It's not like I'm sitting here all day on my dating apps like waiting for you to respond and like thinking about you because I matched with you. Because it's like, you have to make people care about you. And also because there are so many options, it's like you just have to accept again that the stakes are just so low. Like it really doesn't matter. That's also something I really don't like about it, is people can just be like they don't understand the concept of dating apps.
But then I guess it's like finding a middle ground, because like for instance like you're saying like like people need to realize like you've got more shit going on than this date with this one person. But like when the guy didn't reply and shit, like I feel like you need to meet someone like in the middle of like, you have to still maintain that respect, but then still like,
if you say you're going to go
allow
on a date,
people this grace,
if you say you're going to go on a date, go on a date. But just because you matched with someone, it doesn't mean you're like automatically deserve or granted someone's time and energy, because that's just like not the world that we live in. But maybe let's talk a bit about dating profiles, because that's something that really determines how you perceive someone. Also, just quickly, another thing about dating apps is they can be really like appearance focused, centered. And I know you were saying that like you're so much more likely to match with someone if you think they're fit, which is like that's kind of the whole premise of the
someone
app.
Can have a shit profile, but as long as they're fit, I won't care. Like even if they seem dead, if they're fit, might just give it a shot. You know?
I mean, I think that's just very much like a product of the fact that we have dating apps, and we can just see what people look like rather than having to get to know them first. But anyway, what do you think should be in a good profile?
Okay, well, I feel like you should have a bit of variation in your photos. So like Hinge is good because you have to have 6. So like by the 6th picture, I will know what you look like. Like I will be certain.
And if I don't, then
you did it wrong.
Yeah.
So like a bit of variety, you know, like I want to get a few different things. Like I want to see like a photo of your face, like a selfie kind of vibe, like full body shot. Like I kind of want to know what you fully look like, and then like with that you get a chance to, you know, like show an outfit. Like one that I can like gauge a little bit what your style is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to friends in your photo. I think like one is good, like you don't need more than one, but I think it's like nice to show that there's people that like you in the world.
Yeah.
But I think like it has to be 100% clear that it's friends. Like
Yeah.
if there's any doubt in my mind on whether this is a platonic relationship, you cannot put it on. Like just leave it out. There's no need. That you can find a better photo.
That's
and
true.
yeah, like I don't know, something like with something in the background, like, or
that shows the kind of thing that you're into.
yeah,
I like when people put a picture of them like with their art or like
like hobbies, like show a little bit of like what you get up to or whatever.
Even though it's kind of difficult, like you're not about to have a photo shoot while you're like painting.
Yeah, no, obviously, like I think, but also make it like it can't be cringe. But like I'm sorry, but like don't take it too literally. Like I don't really want a picture of you like knitting or something. I feel like that's kind of weird. I mean, actually, I feel like that'd be kind of funny.
That'd be quite cute.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if it's important to you, I think put it. Like for instance, like we were saying, I wouldn't like it if it's like someone with a gym photo. But like if you're into the gym, I don't see why you wouldn't put that, because it's like surely you want someone that is like also into that, and if they see it, like if they see you at the gym, they'll be like, oh look, we have this in common or whatever, you know. Like I personally wouldn't, it wouldn't make me want to swipe right more realistically. And then like yeah, I don't know,
just something that shows character.
No mirror.
No, if you have the flash on and you're doing a mirror selfie,
no
go to Tinder because that's where you belong. Like genuinely, that is where you belong, and that's where you deserve to be.
And Snapchat filters just, or Instagram filters, like just leave it out. Like please, I hate it. Like if they have one with the fucking airbrushed face and little freckles, stop it. That is just not what your face looks like. And then when all of their pictures are fucking Snapchat filters, I'm like, right, so you think you're ugly? Because otherwise, like, you would put a picture of your actual face. It's so annoying.
Okay, so now we know. You have low self-esteem. Yeah, also, if you even consider putting a picture that you are not in on your profile, why? What is the point? If you just put a picture of like a plant or your cat, I literally don't care what your cat looks like. I really don't care.
I think it's kind of funny when people put memes sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
memes, fine.
But not, like, you can put one in there, but like, please just don't put one picture of yourself and then mostly memes. Like, I get it. You can find funny memes.
You're funny. You're a funny person.
Yeah, but that's not even showing me you're funny, because like, you didn't even write the memes.
Yeah, exactly.
You just found them. So, like, okay.
Yeah, there needs to be variation. Like, one picture of you face on. I need to see your face, like your full face.
Yeah.
Maybe one picture with a friend, one full body shot, one with your dog or your cat or your mum or whatever, or your sister. One of you doing something exciting and like another one of you, I don't know, whatever you want. Even though I have two pictures that are literally kind of the same, like it's exactly the same thing, but it's just different poses. People always comment on those pictures, so it's like it's kind of fine because it's like a conversation starter, and it like gets all of them into one. Like you can see my whole body, it shows my style. I'm not wearing any makeup, which is like surprising for me.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that actually. I kind of think that's a good tip. One photo without makeup. I always put one without makeup.
I mean, I don't really care. And if people have cool makeup and cool hair, I'm like, oh, well, you're a cool person. Like,
I don't know. I care a bit just because like I've gotten a lot of comments that like I look different without like kind of different.
Yeah, but
and I'd just rather like they know what's going on. Like,
but clearly I look different without makeup. Otherwise, why would I be wearing?
Yeah, I know,
makeup?
but like. I'd rather someone fully knew what I looked like.
No, I get that.
Than like just my best, hottest version. Even though obviously you are gonna put your best photos. Don't be putting photos that you don't look good in, obviously.
No, don't do that. But yeah, I feel like, and then with the prompts and with the pictures, it's good to put stuff that is like, it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Something that people can get an idea of who you are and then like start a conversation with. Because we're not out here trying to be like generic like everyone else. Even though Maria said if you have like a boring or generic profile and you're hot, it's kind of fine.
That's not... Oh right. Sorry, I thought you said that. I said that you're hot if you have a boring profile.
No.
Yeah, no.
that's kind of like makes up for it, which is, yeah, whatever, like everyone does kind of think like that.
But I still think that, like, for instance, like, if I saw a profile that I really liked, like, it really made me laugh, or like, I don't know, I just thought it was really clever or something, I'm gonna think a lot more about that person than the person who was really fit and had a really boring
100%,
profile. And like, I want to
100%.
talk to the other person so much more. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, they might be fit, you might be like gassed if you match, and like, then you have like a conversation, whatever. But like, the people that are actually matter are like the ones that you have like really good conversation from the start, or like, you know, someone that you just like immediately you're like, okay, yeah, like I see myself going on a date with you and like having a good time. Because that's how far you have to think. Like, you don't have to be like, do I see myself ending up with you? I feel like that's just like, you don't have to be so meticulous about it. I feel like the point of dating, I reckon, is like, if you think that you could have a good night or like a good time, like, do it.
Yeah,
because that's what the point is. It's not like to find the love of your life, because I feel like when you do look at it that way, it puts a lot of more stress, and everything's a lot more like, oh, but like, is this picture good enough, and like, am I showing like the most desirable version of myself, or like, is this gonna be cringe? Because I feel like that's also kind of hard, like finding the right balance, especially with all the prompts and stuff like that. Like, you want to seem like cool, like you don't want to come across as like cringe, and then you're like not sure
so
about
many
exactly what to put.
Cringe,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I hate that. I just don't want to seem cringe at all.
I kind of
so
don't
I feel
really
like
care. I've
I
kind
like
of stopped
dampen
caring
my
at this point.
personality a bit.
Yeah, but it's like, it is literally an application to date you or to like fuck you. So just show who you are, sell yourself, basically. That's what it is. But yeah, okay, shall we talk about messages? Because clearly I have said, if you just message me, hey, don't do that, I'm not going to respond. But it can be really difficult
unless
to, like,
you're really fit. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true. But this really fit guy, like, honestly, one of the fittest guys I've ever seen on a dating app, and it was on Tinder as well. He messaged me being like, the first message I wouldn't pull out, and I was just like, oh,
do you want to have a baby with me?
I was like, oh, so you'd come in the condom? And he was like, oh, this seems like it might be a fuck you and leave kind of situation. And I was just like, why?
Sorry,
Like, you're so hot. You had so much potential.
Yeah, but I feel like that's when they think they can get away with it, because they have gotten away with it so much.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Like, they think that they can just say the most fucked up shit and you'll go along with it.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like, excuse me, sir. Like, do you want herpes? You can have it. Yeah, anyway, so messages, it can be really, really hard, and sometimes I struggle. Like, I try to send first messages as much as I can, but if your profile doesn't have like enough catchy stuff that I know what to say, I really struggle. And then I'm like, that's why I kind of like Hinge, because it sends the person a thing saying, oh, it's your turn to start the conversation, or like, this person has asked you to come to start the conversation. So then you can like try and come up with something, and then if neither of you come up with something, it's like, okay, well, we're never going to talk. But sometimes, like, so as I said, I have 2 pictures that are the same, and I'm wearing like a cowboy outfit, and I have like a cactus. People always message me about it, and they're like, is there a deeper meaning to this photo? Like, what does this mean? Please explain. I'm like, it's just a picture of myself that I like, so I just put it on here. But like, it still starts the conversation. And then with my prompts as well, I have like, something I recently found out is like that narwhals and defibrillators don't only exist in cartoons, and people are always like, oh my god, I thought that like this didn't exist apart from in cartoons as well. And then we're like, oh, we're so stupid, what do we like? And I talk about attachment styles. People are always like, oh, what are attachment styles? And I'm like, okay, bye sir, you don't know anything.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Like, put stuff in your prompts that will like basically like vet people for you.
Yeah, the people that message me being like, oh, I'm secure, or like, oh, I'm obsessed with attachment styles, or I don't know what attachment styles are, but I love hearing other people's like love languages. I'm like, oh, nice, thank you.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're good vibes. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so
like, vetting people.
Yeah, so put stuff that is, as we said, just like you want to show character, you want to get people's attention, start a conversation, and yeah, just message for a while. And if I like someone as well, I'll be like if we had a few good messages back and forth, I'm like, oh, here's my number, text me if you want to go on a date, like I'm around these days or whatever. And then sometimes they'll text me, so it's like it's up to them.
That's a great way to initiate like how to set up the actual date.
Yeah, because then it's like up to them rather than like we're both waiting for the other person to go on Hinge the next time and like respond to the message. It's like, well, everyone's going to respond to a text if you've given them, like if you give your number, you're just giving them the control of the situation, but you also have, you know what I mean, like it's a good way to do it. So yeah, I feel like those are all the tips I have for dating apps. Should I read you some funny messages I've gotten on dating apps?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I have them stashed on my phone. This guy sent me a message saying, stunning knees. And then another guy said, you look so different in all of your pics, with a heart eyes emoji. Like, what? Why is that
they
heart
have multiple
eyes?
personalities.
So cute. This old guy said, honey, for some reason this picture is strangely arousing. Okay. Like someone said to my attachment style prompt, yes, if you are right or I am, it's fine. I hate arguing over nothing. I will protect you physically. I will make you laugh and I will pleasure you. I don't think you understood what I meant by attachment styles, but thanks for letting me know.
Try.
Yeah. To my attachment style prompt again, a Rolex and my glasses. What is your attachment style, honey? What are you saying? But yeah, that's it for our dating apps episode. We hope you enjoyed. We hope we gave you some good tips. And I'm probably going to post some of the screenshots of like the funny dating profiles that I've seen, or like the messages that I've gotten on our Instagram. So make sure you go follow us on Instagram at Sextras Podcast, and feel free to send us screenshots of your funny messages or profiles as well, because it's just like, I think it'll be quite cute to see everyone's, and I can make a little collage of them. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of season 2 in our beautiful studio. We have so many exciting guests and episodes lined up, and you can also go watch us now on YouTube if you want to see our beautiful faces, see our very DIY but very cutie little studio.
See us fidgeting and
see me
Honey moving her hands
moving my
a lot.
hands constantly. We're very excited to be recording again.
And we'll see you next Tuesday, baby.
Yeah, bye.
You've been listening to Sextras, presented by Honey Jane Wyatt and Maria Jose Hayodatiyi, produced by Mabel Productions.